A repository anywhere affects us all. Again, we're talking initially 77,000 metric tons of high-level nuclear waste moving from every state in the nation to one location. One accident. One terrorist attack. It won't take much to contaminate for thousands of years very large portions of this country.
The Congress has decided that we are going to have a repository program to put our spent nuclear fuel, and the site to be evaluated and licensed for that repository is Yucca Mountain in Nevada.
The repository has gone through an extensive scientific evaluation, the site itself. Over 20 years, several $billion, and all of the science being looked at.
If you were in the area, you saw these volcanic cones, why would you ever think it could be compatible with the long-term disposal of nuclear waste? If you have molten rock that erupts up through the repository, waste from destroyed containers is going to get caught up in what's being ejected out of that volcano.
This is a discussion that needs to go on in the country. People need to decide, what kind of power do you want in the future? Do you want to look at renewables like wind and solar? Do you want more dependence on nuclear energy? And if you want more dependence on nuclear energy, how do you want to manage the waste problem?
The nuclear plants are the only large-scale source of non-emitting electric generation.
The average person in the United States is going to be affected by the Yucca Mountain project in different ways. Those on the East Coast are going to breathe a sigh of relief. Those on the West Coast are going to think, uh-oh, it's in my backyard. But what I think has to be thought of and conveyed to the public is this is a lot better than tanks leaking into our rivers.
For those people who advocate just leave it where it is, to me, they're advocating a status quo that is not sustainable, and they're advocating pushing the issue and the problem off to a future generation, and I don't believe that's right.
People really don't believe the Department of Energy when they say, don't worry, it's safe, you have nothing to be concerned about.
If this material is brought to Nevada and put in Yucca Mountain, the value is enormous. Some 95% of the energy is still contained in those so-called spent fuel rods. It's crazy to think of it as waste. It's worth billions. I see it as a new Fort Knox.